Yo, what's up, y'all? Today I'm gonna be making this little quick video about what I think the best leveling skill for each class will be going into this new season of Diablo, which is season 8. I haven't played Diablo in a while, but I did go through the patch notes and put out this little quick document right here, just kind of re-going over all the buffs that each class is getting and kind of what my thoughts and potential leveling builds potentially could be for people who maybe aren't sure or you're new to the game, you know. um, so yeah, as you see, Barbarian starting off here, it's getting good buffs to Whirlwind. Whirlwind's been pretty weak for a while now since the beginning of the game. It's still been a pretty decent option, but it seems like they're giving it a pretty hefty buff. As you see, the base Whirlwind is getting 20% damage buff, which is going to be really nice. Um, and on top of that, they're buffing the crap out of Furious Whirlwind. Bleed damage increased from 40 to 120% weapon damage over 5 seconds. That's a lot. That's what, 3 times 3? They're tripling the buff of bleed, which is pretty crazy, honestly. So I think that'll definitely be a good pick to choose on Whirlwind. As well as we see double swing is also getting buffed pretty heavily. As you see, the base damage is going from 36 to 50%, so a little 14% increase. And then enhanced double swing is increasing fury gain from 5 to 10, so you can keep up with your fury management pretty well. And on top of that, violent double swing is now getting a stun duration increase from 1.5 to 2.5 seconds. So overall, my thoughts on this is like, okay, the best thing to do is either for leveling is going to be running whirlwind or double swing, and making sure that you're running a lot of aspects that deal with twisters. As you see, I listed fierce winds, devilish aspect, dust devil aspect, and windlash aspect. I think honestly you could probably still get away with running upheaval, but I don't know. I always find upheaval to not be that fun. So with this increased buff in Whirlwind, I think Whirlwind's going to be really strong going into the season, especially for leveling with that 20% increase and that bleed buff. So I think either your safe bets are probably going to be Whirlwind or double swing. Like I said, you can really run upheaval if you want. I'd say the only thing not to run for leveling is probably Hammer of the Ancients. It's still pretty shit, honestly. But yeah, so yeah, just do like a twister double swing or a twister whirlwind build, and I think you'll be quite all right. Moving on to Druid, as you see, Shred got buffed just slightly, barely from 24 to 30% increase. Pulverize got a 10% damage increase going from 60 to 70, so pretty decent. And then enhanced pulverize got an increase on its fortify amount from base life from 20 to 25%. And Hurricane actually got a pretty decent buff to its damage, 97.5 to 135%. So really, I think the two builds that I've always ran for Druid early leveling, or just leveling in general, is either between Pulverize or Tornado are usually gonna be your best bets. For leveling quickly, when you're running Pulverize, you want to make sure you have the aspect that I think it's Urson Horror and Shockwave aspect. This is going to make you do like miniature earthquakes and also make it go forward on your enemy, so that way you get a little bit better clear. And if you're going to run the Tornado, make sure you do Storm Chaser aspect, because that'll make your tornadoes target enemies. But yeah, I think if you're going to run Druid, make sure you either run Pulverize or Tornado. I think that'll be your best bets. Moving into Sorcerer, as you see, Incinerate got a pretty hefty buff, 180 to 235% buff. I think on top of that, they've also buffed Enhanced Incinerate, which is now mana cost reduction increased from 20 to 30%, so that's huge. And then Destructive Incinerate, burning damage bonus increased from 25 to 50%. So Incinerate's getting a huge buff, which is looking really nice. And Incinerate's always been a pretty fun build if you like to just like hold down one button and spin in a circle. But yeah, Meteor is also getting a 20% impact damage increase from 80 to 100. So I think, honestly, going into this season, Incinerate looks like a really fun and strong option, making sure that using, aspect of conflagration, overheating, and flamethrower aspect, that'll just allow for some increased fire damage over time, as well as the flamethrower aspect makes you shoot three flames instead of one. And it still looks like Firewall is going to be a pretty good choice if you prefer to do that. But I think going into this season, Incinerate looks like a really fun option. Moving into Rogue, as you see, Twisting Blades got a quick little 15% damage increase. Poison Trap got a 60% increase. And the enhanced poison trap got cooldown reduction increased from 20 to 30% when triggered. So I mean, I think I always run poison trap on rogue, no matter what build I play. So that's good. That poison trap's getting a pretty big buff. I think twisting blades is out of its prime, and I don't think it'll ever be used again due to one ability, and that ability would be Dance of Knives. If you've used Dance of Knives before, you know how good that skill is for leveling. I think it genuinely is the best leveling skill out of all the classes by far. You literally hold one button and you move. And if you have this aspect of star shards, as you see, it's a chance to shatter into 6 shards of metal on hit, dealing increased physical damage. So if you're playing rogue, run Dance of Knives. I promise you, you can't go wrong with it. And make sure you're using Poison Trap as well with these new buffs that just got put onto it. For Necromancer, as you see, Blood Lance got a 20% damage increase from 80 to 100. Enhanced Blood Lance got piercing damage bonus increase from 10 to 15. Supernatural Blood Lance got fortified bonus increase from 15 to 20. And then Bone Spirit got a damage increase from 125 to 150. So Bone Spirit's looking pretty strong. But I think overall, for starters, like leveling on Necromancer, you have to play minions. And then combo it with Blight, because you can get some really good, dot damage using Blight. Especially if you pair it with the shadow. I think it's like the shadow key passive at the bottom. You can do a lot of shadow damage. And then I just listed a few Necromancer aspects I think are important, like reanimation, Undying Commander's aspect, and then Frenzied Dead. Those all help with minion attack speed and minion damage. So yeah, those are all good. And then for Blight, you can run Aspect of Decay and Blighted Aspect. Those are just gonna help. I think they work with the shadow, or the shadow damage key passive at the bottom to do increased bonus damage. So those are all really good to run. And then finally for Spiritborn, the base damage for Russian Claw got increased from 50 to 80%. And then it looks like they did some reworks. Poison Russian Claw now has 20 max charges, and it says casting all charges increase damage by 25% per charge in the largest hit area. And then for the Seeker and the Devourer, the rank 5 bonus got capped at 200% damage increase. And overall, with all that being said, I think Quill Volley is still going to be your best bet for leveling. It just has the best damage, especially if you get this rebounding aspect, which now the feathers that you shoot will now explode upon reaching their apex for its base damage, and then they will return where they were cast. So yeah, overall, these are all pretty much like the best. At least in my opinion, I think these are some of the best leveling options for you to choose. Like I said, you're open to do whatever you want, obviously, but from what I've read on these patch notes and what I've played in the past, I really think these are good options to play with if you're new or you're just not sure where to start and you haven't been here in a while. But yeah, that's it. I appreciate everybody stopping by. Make sure you leave a like and a sub, and I'm probably going to be streaming Diablo tomorrow, so if you're able to, stop by, say what's up. But I appreciate everybody that did stop by, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.